That wasn't his line. Yeah, so what's happening is because I'm not doing anything, and I think it's actually that. You're either generating the momentum or they are. And if they begin to believe that the lion's share of that job is them, they're going to work you all day long. Am I wrong, Crystal?
No.
You know, if you think that they're saying to themselves, if you think that this dog is saying to this is a superior being talking about, they're not thinking that. They're thinking they're slow, they're weak. Weak. All right, here's the master of indifference. If Skylar started pushing it around, he'd chase it then too. Now watch, Skylar will probably bump into it, it'll roll. OMG. Yeah, but I'm just mastering indifference. You know, but I'm saying to myself, you know, I think if you just approach training as a kinetic and technical endeavor, I think you'd be much better off than, you know, obviously an emotional endeavor isn't going to work. If it's going to do it for love and all that, I mean, that's so, you know, maybe that's a holistic approach to dog training, but that doesn't work because that doesn't, you know, their ideology doesn't fit into that. The shoe bottom. That's her idea of a good time. Not me petting her. So what I've got is Freaky over there generating his own momentum. So that's what you've got to understand. And I mean, it's going to vary in breeds, but I mean, shepherds, if you put them in a pen, they're going to go in a circle like mahogany does. If you put them in a square pen, they're going to go back and forth. They're continually expending this momentum. I don't know whether there's a meter inside each dog of how much momentum it's going to expend, but you know, I'm just realizing you've got to be a part of that. You better be that. You better have a harness on that. If you're not approaching it from that angle, I don't understand how you would be successful. I really don't. You know, maybe with dogs that didn't move around that much. Maybe. Because I'm not, you know, I haven't said or done anything. I'm not going to say to this dog, are you ready? It doesn't matter whether he's ready. I'm ready. Purposely keeping the dog out of my eye line. Dog in training. Here's my pager. But do you see how just my movement brought that box there too? That's the freaky part. Just my movement, and it, you know, and that is a deaf dog. All right, we gotta get rid of this thing. I realize now there's a squishy ball inside, and so this is where it's gonna get. Fetty! But what I've got, and you know, what I'm not gonna do, if you think I'm gonna correct that dog, I'm not. I'm not. What I'm saying is, I'm right on the edge of momentum. I'm gonna tap into it real quick. I'm doing a little bit better job than normal keeping the leash out of the way. And I'm going to tell you how, just because I've adjusted a little bit so his foot can't go over. And I know, Michael, if you're watching this, you're saying, why doesn't he have the finger kick? I'm going to get it figured out. I did put a sit on the dog. Dog in training. He's not very steady, I'd say. I noticed that. hitting me that much, but please. If I'm gonna make him stay, all I need to do is sit. You know, if you said he's not aware of you putting the leash on, he absolutely will sit. He's saying she better do it good. Sit. Training. Just kept the whole thing moving the whole time. And honestly, for this dog, if I hadn't kept it moving, he'd be moving around anyway. You know, that's the way I'm looking at it. Am I wrong? He wouldn't just be sitting there. So I'm, you know, just now if I just say all through, he's still moving around. It's, you know, I'm starting to think that maybe that's what it is. They're not seeing any difference really between that and. All right, now watch. Fetty! Yeah, that was funny. What it is. All through. Oh yeah, I braced myself now. You saw I was bracing myself all through. You know, I'm starting to believe that's the measure. You know, that they can go back into free agency. You know, maybe that's just a function of what you're doing. And I know you, you know, and I, you know, I don't know when I figured that out, but I definitely know you should not have a big difference between free agency and obedience. Fedique! And Mike, if you're watching this, and I know you are, Crystal's like, she's very brave to have this thing coming at her.
Yeah.
That's what I think you need to do with your Sable Shepherd. I think she could do it. And it just puts a different expectation that I, at any moment, will take back the control of the momentum. You know, and if you said, well, you don't have, you know, you can't sweep him into, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. But less is more. Less is more. You know, my indifference is what's doing it. All right, guys, we'll be right back with Leash.